from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 24, Text 66. It's the Brahma Samhita. Jato gata priti krihat sakam etihato.
Jato gata priti krihat sakam etihato. Hatparipun satani kitorudara. Hatparipun satani kitorudara. Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche. Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche. Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu. Jato gata prithvihat vrajamatyat ediato. Jato gata prithvihat vrajamatyat. Hatparipun satani krito rudara. Hatparipun satani krito rudara. Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche. Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche. Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu. Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu. Jato gata pitri krihat sajam edihato. Jato gata pitri krihat sajam edihato. Hatvarupun shukshakani kritorudara. Hatvarupun shukshakani kritorudara. Utpajyateshu purusha kratupi samiche. Utpajyateshu kratupi samiche. Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu. Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu.
Jato gata prithvihat vajam editato.
Jato gata prithvihat vajam editato.
Hatparipun satani kitorudara.
Hatparipun satani kitorudara.
Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche.
Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche.
Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu.
Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu. Jato gata prithvihat vrajame. Atvaripun satani kritorudara. Atvaripun satani kritorudara. Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche. Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche. Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu. Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu.
Jato gata prithvihat vrajameditato.
Jato gata prithvihat vrajameditato.
Hatvaripun satani kritorudara.
Hatvaripun satani kritorudara.
Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche.
Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche.
Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu.
Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu.
Any ladies?
Jato gata prithvihat vajameditato.
Jato gata prithvihat vrajameditato.
Hatvaripun satani kritorudara.
Hatvaripun satani kritorudara.
Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche.
Utpajyateshu purusha kratuki samiche.
Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu.
Atmanam atmanigamam pratiyanjaneshu.
Yato gata pitriha bhajameditato.
Yato yada krishviha vrajameditato.
Atva vipunsutashtatani krito rudara.
Atari Shatani Pito Rudara.
Uparyateshu purusha katubhi samije.
Udayateshu Purusha Kratubi Samije.
Atmanam atmavam atmaniganam patayan yameshu. Jata, after taking birth
After taking birth
as the son of Vasudeva,
as the son of Vasudeva,
Jata went away. Vichigrihat
Vidura
from the houses of his father.
from the house of his father
Rajam to Vrindavan.
to Vrindavan,
Editata
Vidita
to exalt the position of Vrindavan.
to exalt the position of Vrindavan,
Atva
Atva,
killing there.
living there.
Ripun,
Become
many demons.
many demons.
Sutta Shatani,
Sutta Shatani,
hundreds of sons. Krita,
Krita,
Urodara,
Urudara,
accepting many thousands of wives.
accepting many thousands of wives,
The best of women.
the best of women.
Udpaja,
Raja,
begot. Teshu,
Vishu,
in them.
in them.
Purusha,
Purusha,
the supreme person,
the supreme person,
who exactly resembles a human being.
who exactly resembles a human being.
Kratubi,
Kratubihi,
by many sacrifices.
the sacrifices.
Samije,
Samije,
worship.
worship.
Atmanam,
Atmanam,
himself.
himself.
In brackets it says, because he is the person worshipped by all sacrifices.
Because he is the person who is worshipped by all sacrifices.
Atmanigamam,
Atmanam,
exactly according to the ritualistic ceremonies of the Vedas.
Exactly according to the ritualistic ceremonies of the Vedas.
Rataya, among the people in translation and purport by Mr. Bhagavati. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, known as Leela Purushottam, appeared as the son of Vasudeva, but immediately left his father's home and went to Vrindavan to expand his loving relationship with his confidential devotees. In Vrindavan, the Lord had many demons, and afterwards he returned to Dwarka, where, according to Vedic principles, he married many wives who were the best of women, begot through them hundreds of sons, and performed the sacrifices for his own worship to establish the principles of household life. Quite a long purport. So we need a French translation for some devotees. One, two. What are we going to do about that? Vidura is going to translate. Do you want to sit here, Vidura? Do you want to do it whispering in ears? Which do you rather do?
As you want, I don't mind.
I'd rather whisper here than I have time to think while you're speaking. I have time to think. So the purport can be. I'll read the purport in English. As stated in Bhagavati 15:15, by all the Vedas, it is Krishna who is known. Lord Shri Krishna, setting an example by his own behavior, performed many ritualistic ceremonies described in the Vedas, and established the principles of Grihastha life by marrying many wives and begetting many children, just to show the people in general how to be happy by living according to Vedic principles. The center of Vedic sacrifice is Krishna, Vedes Prasada Aham Eva Vedyah, Bhagavati 15:15. To advance in human life, human society must follow the Vedic principles, personally demonstrated by Lord Krishna in his household life. The real purpose of Krishna's appearance, however, was to manifest how one can take part in loving affairs with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Reciprocations of loving affairs in ecstasy are possible only in Vrindavan. Therefore, just after his appearance as the son of Vasudeva, the Lord immediately left for Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, the Lord did not only take part in loving affairs with his father and mother, the gopis and the cowherd boys, but also gave liberation to many demons by killing them. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Parichanaya Sadhanam Vinashaya Dudastatam, Bhagavad Gita 4:8. The Lord appears in order to protect the devotees and kill the demons. This was fully exhibited by his personal behavior. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is understood by Arjuna to be Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, the eternal transcendental supreme person. Here also we find the words Utpadya Tesha Purusha. Therefore it is to be concluded the absolute truth is Purusha, a person. The impersonal feature is but one of the features of his personality. Ultimately he is a person, he is not impersonal. And not only is he a Purusha, a person, but he is Leela Purushottam, the best of all persons.
Teneur est porté par cette grâce à ses Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. La Bhagavad Gita 15.15 enseigne Vedaish cha sarvair aham eva vedyaha. Tous les Védas tentent à faire connaître Krishna. Donnant l'exemple, Shri Krishna accomplit de nombreuses cérémonies rituelles décrites dans les Védas et instaura les principes de la vie de Grihastha en prenant de nombreuses épouses et en engendrant de nombreux enfants. Ceci pour montrer à la masse des gens comment être heureux en vivant conformément aux principes védiques. Les sacrifices védiques sont centrés sur Krishna. Vedaish cha sarvair aham eva vedyaha. Pour progresser dans son existence, l'homme ou la société en général doit suivre les principes védiques comme le fit personnellement Shri Krishna dans sa vie de famille. Toutefois, le véritable dessein de Krishna... Oh, okay. There's a mistake in the Bhagavatam there. They printed the beginning of the same sentence twice. Anyway. Toutefois, le véritable dessein de Krishna en apparaissant ici-bas était de révéler comment on peut prendre part au divertissement d'amour de Dieu, la personne suprême. Les relations d'amour extatique ne sont possibles qu'à Vrindavan. C'est pourquoi, juste après son avènement en tant que fils de Vasudeva, le Seigneur se rendit immédiatement à Vrindavan. Là, non seulement il se livra à des divertissements d'amour avec son père et sa mère, les gopis et les pâtres, mais il conféra aussi la libération à de nombreux asuras en les faisant périr. La Bhagavad Gita 4.8 déclare Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. Le Seigneur vient en ce monde afin de protéger ses dévots et d'anéantir les asuras. Ceci fut parfaitement démontré par sa propre conduite. Dans la Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna reconnaît en le Seigneur l'éternelle personne suprême transcendantale, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam. Et nous trouvons ici les mots Upadyateshu Purusha. Il faut donc en conclure que la vérité absolue est une personne, Purusha. Sa manifestation impersonnelle n'est que l'un des aspects de sa personnalité. En dernière analyse, elle a une identité personnelle. Elle n'est pas impersonnelle. Et non seulement Dieu est-il un être personnel, ou Purusha, mais il est de tous le meilleur, le plus grand, ou Lila Purushottama.
Krishna Krishna Sadhu with the permission of the senior devotees present, try and say something.
Je vais essayer de dire quelque chose en la présence des dévots aînés.
So we're getting a preview of Krishna's pastimes in the 10th canto. Now at the end of the 9th canto, we're getting a preview of the 10th canto.
À la fin du 9e chant, on obtient un aperçu des divertissements de Krishna qui sont présentés dans le 10e chant du Srimad Bhagavatam.
Krishna is referred to in the verse as Lila Purushottama.
Krishna est référé dans ce verset en tant que Lila Purushottama.
Lila means pastimes.
Lila veut dire les divertissements,
Activities that are not under the laws of karma.
des activités qui ne sont pas sous la juridiction du karma.
Activities in the spiritual energy.
L'activité dans l'énergie spirituelle.
We are forced to act by karma,
On est forcé d'agir par le karma,
by the modes of material nature.
par les lois de l'énergie matérielle.
But Krishna is the master of the three modes of material nature.
Mais Krishna est le maître de l'énergie matérielle
And he's never under the influence of the modes.
et il n'est jamais sous l'influence des modes.
So when he acts independently.
Donc quand il agit de manière indépendante.
And he acts in a way that he enjoys.
Et il agit d'une manière qu'il apprécie.
So Lila means pastimes.
Lila veut dire les divertissements.
Pastimes of Krishna.
Divertissement de Krishna.
And Purushottam means the greatest enjoyer.
Purushottama veut dire le plus grand, la personne qui prend le plus de plaisir.
The most expert, you could say, the most expert at enjoying.
Le plus expert pour prendre du plaisir.
We all know how to enjoy,
On sait tous comment se faire plaisir,
but we are minute examples of Krishna, particles of Krishna.
mais on est des exemples tout petits, des particules toutes petites de Krishna.
So Krishna enjoys,
Donc Krishna prend plaisir,
but he enjoys unlimitedly.
mais il prend plaisir de manière illimitée.
He has no obstacles to his enjoyment.
Il n'y a aucun obstacle à son plaisir.
Eternal enjoyment.
Plaisir éternel.
Then the purport Prabhupada brings us to some points that are relevant to us.
Donc dans ce teneur est porté, Srila Prabhupada amène des points qui nous concernent.
He refers to Bhagavati 15:15.
Il cite Bhagavad Gita 15.15.
This verse is a famous verse. Often quotes it. It makes two very important points. One point is that Krishna is in the heart of everyone.
Ce verset est connu, il fait deux points importants. Le premier point, c'est que Krishna est dans le cœur de tous les êtres.
And the second important point is that Krishna is the goal of the Vedas.
Et le deuxième point, c'est que Krishna est le but des Védas.
So many people will study the Vedas for this and that reason.
Beaucoup de gens peuvent étudier les Védas pour l'une ou l'autre raison.
And they may think, that the goal of the Vedas is impersonal Brahman or Kamakanda or some yogic thing.
Et ils peuvent penser que le but ultime des Védas, c'est Jnana Yoga, la connaissance, ou ça peut être Karma Yoga, ou bien un yoga particulier.
But the goal of the Vedas is to know Krishna.
Mais le but des Védas est de connaître Krishna.
But Krishna is not completely obvious in the Vedas. It's a little bit hidden.
Krishna n'est pas évident.
But by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya,
Mais par la miséricorde du Seigneur Chaitanya,
we are able to take the elevator to the top floor.
on est capable de prendre la connaissance ultime.
So we understand Krishna and Krishna's pastimes is the goal of life.
On peut comprendre que Krishna et ses divertissements sont le but de la vie.
To absorb our minds, our hearts in the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
Et l'on peut absorber notre mental et notre cœur dans le divertissement de Shri Krishna.
There's one verse in the 12th canto,
Il y a un verset dans le 12e chant,
Samsara Sindham, Dustara Rutikesha, Nanyaptava, Bhagavat Purushotanasya, Lila Kata Rasa, Nisevanam Antarayam. I can't remember the last line. Pumsa, Lavida, Bhava, Dukkha Davaditasa. So this verse says that the ocean of material existence, the ocean of material existence,
l'océan de l'existence matérielle
is very difficult to cross.
est très difficile à traverser.
But there is one way to cross it,
Mais il y a un moyen de le traverser.
and that is to taste the hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
C'est d'avoir un goût pour entendre les divertissements du Seigneur Krishna.
Lila Kata Rasa.
Lila Kata Rasa.
This is considered to be the boat across the ocean.
Ceci est considéré comme le bateau pour traverser l'océan de l'existence
So
matérielle.
if we are reading the Krishna book,
Si on lit le Krishna Book,
we're thinking about Krishna.
on pense à Shri Krishna.
When you think about him, you think about the things he does.
Quand on pense à lui, on pense aux choses qu'il fait.
When you meditate on the deity and you think about how he's nicely dressed.
On médite sur les déités et on apprécie la manière dont il est habillé.
In this way, we are
On
crossing
traverse l'océan de l'existence des dizaines de milliers d'années,
the yoga.
faire du yoga.
And we don't have to do any, big study and learn Sanskrit. Krishna.
Prabhupada a rendu ça le plus facile possible pour nous.
You even put pictures to help us visualize Krishna.
Il a même mis des images pour qu'on puisse visualiser Krishna.
But if we can absorb ourselves in service, practical service, which is very accessible for all of us,
Mais si on n'a pas ce goût, on peut s'absorber dans du service pratique qui est très accessible.
and if we can chant our rounds,
Si on peut chanter nos tours,
if we can't chant all our rounds, sometimes with beginners we can't immediately chant 16 hours. At least we can go to Kirtan.
si on ne peut pas chanter tous nos tours, tous nos 16 tours, au moins on peut aller faire des kirtans.
So the holy name and the service, practical service, will give us the taste for hearing.
Ainsi, le chant du Saint-Nom et le service pratique vont nous donner le goût pour écouter.
So Prabhupada also makes a point in the purport that the Vedic knowledge is meant to guide human society how to behave properly.
Srila Prabhupada, dans le teneur et porté, avance le point que les règles védiques sont faites pour faire avancer la société.
And Krishna, although he didn't have to, he lived the life of a grihastha.
Et que Shri Krishna, même s'il n'en avait pas besoin, il vivait la vie d'un grihastha
To set the example,
pour montrer l'exemple.
how to live in a civilized way.
Comment vivre d'une manière civilisée.
Yajad acharite shrastas, tadeva tarojana, sayat pramanam kurute, lokastad anuvachate. Anybody know what this means? Jai. Whatever a great man does, common men follow.
Ce verset signifie que quoi que fasse un homme important, les gens communs suivent.
So we see this in modern society, but whatever the big leaders, the big sports heroes or the musicians or the movie stars or whatever fashion they decide to follow, people will follow them.
Et donc on peut voir ça dans la société moderne, les gens connus, les footballeurs, les athlètes, les chanteurs, peu importe, quand ils décident de faire les choses d'une certaine manière, d'adopter une mode, les gens les suivent.
It's a human psychology that we like to follow somebody else's example.
C'est la psychologie humaine, on aime suivre l'exemple de quelqu'un d'autre.
It's a good tendency to have when the leaders are bona fide, when they shrestha, these people who set the example are good. It's very good to follow them.
C'est un bon comportement quand les gens que l'on décide de suivre sont qualifiés.
But it's very unfortunate in Kali Yuga when the leaders are misguided themselves.
Mais par notre mauvaise fortune, dans le Kali Yuga, les dirigeants ne sont pas qualifiés eux-mêmes.
It's said by Prahlad Maharaj, Andalya Sangha, Upani the blind leading the blind, and we all fall into the ditch.
Prahlad Maharaj explique dans ce verset, c'est l'aveugle qui guide un autre aveugle et ensemble ils tombent dans un fossé.
So we don't want to be led to fall into a ditch.
On ne veut pas tomber dans un fossé.
Life in a ditch is not very nice.
La vie dans un fossé n'est pas très agréable.
So Prabhupada has come to distribute the knowledge of the real leader.
Srila Prabhupada est venu pour distribuer la connaissance des vrais dirigeants.
As Krishna.
C'est Krishna lui-même.
And Krishna set the example.
Et Krishna donne l'exemple.
Because Krishna lived in great opulence and had 16,000 wives. Well, maybe we should follow that example also.
Krishna vivait de manière extrêmement opulente. Il avait 16 108 femmes. Peut-être qu'on devrait aussi faire ça.
It may not be possible.
Peut-être c'est sûrement pas possible.
Shastra says that in this age it's very difficult even to maintain one family.
Les Shastras disent que dans cet âge, c'est très difficile de maintenir même juste une seule famille.
And Krishna was maintaining 16,108 families.
Krishna maintenait 16 108 familles.
Then we can meditate on the difference between him and us.
On peut méditer sur la différence entre lui et
We
nous.
can appreciate his divinity.
On peut apprécier sa divinité.
Krishna, when he came, he showed the example of how to live, but also he showed all his 6 opulences.
Krishna, quand il est apparu, non seulement il montrait l'exemple comment vivre, mais il montrait aussi ses 6 opulences.
Different avatars of Krishna, they manifest different opulences.
Différents avatars de Krishna manifestent différentes opulences.
But when Krishna himself appears, he manifests all 6.
Et quand Krishna lui-même apparaît, en sa forme personnelle, il manifeste les 6 qualités.
Beauty. This morning, before I came to Bhagavati, I was reading about the beauty of Krishna. It's such a nice description of Krishna's form.
Ce matin, avant d'aller au Mangalarati, je lisais une description de la beauté de Krishna.
And we can hear about Krishna's strength,
On peut entendre à propos de la force de Krishna,
Krishna's fame,
sa renommée,
his renunciation.
sa renonciation.
What are the other ones? Fame, renunciation, beauty, strength, wealth, yes.
Force, richesse.
All these things. When we read about these things, they attract our mind.
Quand on lit ce genre de choses, ça attracte notre mental, attire.
So the verse Prabhupada referred to, the Bhagavati, referred to Paritranaya Sadhana and Vinashya Tutasya, Rama Samsta Panata, Sambhavani.
L'autre verset que Srila Prabhupada cite dans le teneur et porté Palitanaya Sadhunam de la Bhagavad Gita.
Krishna, that verse, does anybody know what it means, surely?
Ce verset,
Hardly know what this verse means.
est-ce que quelqu'un sait ce que ça veut dire?
Krishna appears. It gives a reason why Krishna appears. Krishna has reasons for appearing. When we go somewhere, we have a reason. Krishna has a reason when he comes to this universe.
Krishna apparaît et ce verset donne l'une des raisons pour laquelle Krishna apparaît. Quand on va,
No.
okay. Quand on va quelque part, on a une raison, donc Krishna c'est pareil.
So he comes to solace his devotees,
Il apparaît pour maintenir ses dévots,
to have pleasurable pastimes with his devotees,
pour avoir des divertissements avec ses dévots
and also to kill the demons.
et pour tuer les démons.
And both for Krishna are enjoyment. Both are enjoyment.
Et les deux choses sont pour le plaisir de Krishna.
He likes to have a good fight.
Il aime bien se disputer.
I can't quite relate to this. I know men like to fight, have a good wrestling match.
Moi, je trouve pas ça très. Ça ne me concerne pas vraiment, mais je sais que les hommes, ils aiment bien se disputer, se battre un petit peu.
And the tendency of ladies is to fight verbally.
La tendance des femmes, c'est plus de se disputer verbalement.
But sometimes we pull each other's hair or scratch each other. We really get into it.
Mais parfois, si elles sont motivées, elles peuvent se tirer les cheveux.
But men they like to have physical fights.
Et
Show their strength.
les hommes aiment les disputes physiques.
So Krishna comes to fight the demons.
Donc Krishna apparaît pour se battre avec les démons.
And in the 10th canto, there's plenty of demon killing.
Dans le 10e chant, il y a beaucoup de tuages, de meurtres de démons.
And Balaram also kills demons.
Balaram tue aussi les démons.
So they're standing there on the altar, innocent boys.
Donc ils sont là sur l'autel, ils ont l'air innocents.
But actually they like killing demons.
Mais en fait, ils aiment beaucoup tuer des démons.
So this is like another side.
Donc c'est une autre facette de leur personnalité.
So Krishna interacts with his devotees.
Krishna interagit avec ses dévots.
And it said that in Vrindavan there are 5 rasas with Krishna.
Il y a 5 types de rasa, de relations avec Krishna.
But in Vrindavan, all the rasas are there, but the predominant ones are the Vatsalya and the Madhurya.
À Vrindavan, tous les rasas sont présents, mais ceux qui sont prédominants, c'est Vatsalya et Madhurya.
So Krishna goes to Vrindavan to manifest these pastimes.
Krishna va à Vrindavan pour manifester ses divertissements.
Because he likes to enjoy with his devotees.
Car il aime s'amuser avec ses dévots.
He's always with his devotees one way or another.
Il est toujours avec les dévots d'une manière ou d'une autre.
And when he dances, he actually dances with each gopi.
Et quand il danse avec chaque gopi.
Priti was speaking about this the other day.
Ritu parlait de ça l'autre jour.
There's millions of gopis, but Krishna's dancing with each one.
Il y a des millions de gopis, mais Krishna danse avec chacune d'entre elles.
Then we can draw some kind of a parallel.
On peut faire un parallèle.
We are not in the rasa dance with Krishna,
On n'est pas dans la danse Rasalila avec Krishna,
but we each have Krishna with us.
mais on a Krishna avec nous.
Every one of us has Krishna in their heart.
Chacun d'entre nous a Krishna dans son cœur.
So we can meditate on that point, that Krishna is with us at every step.
Donc on peut méditer sur ce point que Krishna est avec nous à chaque pas.
You can think, Prabhupada gave the example, it's like the sky is always visible.
C'est comme le ciel est toujours visible.
Krishna is always there.
Krishna est toujours ici.
We can always remember him,
On peut toujours se rappeler de lui,
pray to him,
prier pour lui,
take shelter of him.
prier à lui, prendre refuge en lui.
And it's not something that we just do now and again, but we should be aiming to be always mindful of Krishna.
C'est pas quelque chose qu'on fait de temps en temps. Il faudrait qu'on fasse un effort pour être tout le temps conscient de Krishna.
So at least while we're chanting our japa, we should be mindful of Krishna.
Au moins, quand on chante notre japa, on devrait se rappeler de Krishna.
Yesterday I was listening to a class, and the devotee was saying that
Hier, j'écoutais une classe et il y a un dévot qui disait,
it was just a very good point that he made. I will just share with you.
c'était un bon point qu'il faisait, je vais le partager avec vous.
He was talking about the Shikshastika,
Il parlait du Shikshastakam,
which we chant every morning.
qu'on chante tous les matins.
And he was saying that at the end of the first verse,
Il dit à la fin du premier verset,
it says Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
il est dit Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
And he was saying how Sankirtan means different things.
Et il parlait du fait que Sankirtan veut dire différentes choses.
It means that we all chant together, we all have kirtan together.
C'est-à-dire qu'on chante ensemble, on fait un kirtan ensemble.
But it also means when we chant japa,
Et ça veut aussi dire quand on chante notre japa,
we have our words of saying Krishna's name Our tongue, you know, our mouth
Oh,
is speaking Krishna's
Notre,
name.
notre bouche répète les noms de Krishna.
And we should also have Sankirtan, we should also have Krishna in our mind
Et on devrait aussi avoir Krishna dans notre mental.
and a desire for Krishna in our heart.
Et le désir de voir Krishna dans notre cœur.
So we have Krishna, it's Sankirtan when we have Krishna in our heart, Krishna in our mind, Krishna in our words. That is Sankirtan.
Sankirtan, c'est quand Krishna est présent dans nos mots, dans nos pensées, dans nos cœurs.
So I found that inspiring because the point he made, he said, often we're chanting externally, chanting. Some noise is coming out of our mouth. We have something in our mind and then some other emotion in our heart.
Et parce qu'il disait, parfois, quand on chante, les mots sortent de notre bouche, on a quelque chose d'autre dans notre mental et encore d'autres désirs dans notre cœur.
So if we can get all three in line and actually absorb ourselves in Krishna, then that's Sankirtan for Amvijayate.
Si on peut aligner les trois, à ce moment-là, ça devient Sankirtan.
Okay, it's getting late because we were a little late starting.
Il est un peu tard, parce qu'on a commencé plus tard.
I'm sorry about that.
Pardon. Un commentaire, des questions?
And Leonard Senior's got comments.
Can you give the exact reference where you gave that inner understand meaning of Sankirtan? You mentioned that.
I can give you the reference to the devotee and I can give you his email address and you can write to him. Or I can write to him and ask him.
Quoted a authority on that.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't, I think it was Vishwanath, but I don't know. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. There's another analysis as well of what Sankirtan means. It means that we also have to all discuss Krishna together. We all have to talk about Krishna from all different angles amongst ourselves, and that's also Sankirtan.
Il y avait une deuxième analyse de Sankirtan, c'est quand on discute les divertissements de Krishna ensemble, ça devient aussi Sankirtan.
I will find out more, I'll find out for you.
Maharaj demandait la référence de l'analyse à propos du mental, du cœur.
Give us one, Prabhu.
We could refer that to the beginning of the verse, Pratipanam Purnamrita Svananam, the full nectar, Sarvas. What's after? Sarvatma Snapanam, Sarvatma Snapanam, the full Atmanam.
Yeah.
Full Atmanam is
On peut aussi référer ça dans le premier verset du Shikshashtaka. Il y a un mot qui dit la personne entière, donc avec toutes ses caractéristiques. Il y a ce verset dans la Bhagavati, Manmana Bhavamal Bhakto, engage tes pensées en moi. C'est la même idée.
La question c'est qu'est-ce que le renoncement spirituel et dans le divertissement de Krishna, quel divertissement on peut observer le renoncement?
My question is, which pastime of Krishna can we see that he's manifesting his opulence of renunciation?
He was dancing with the gopis.
Il dansait avec les gopis.
One example, you see, he was dancing with the gopis.
Un exemple, il dansait avec les gopis.
And at one point he left the rasa dance.
Et à un moment donné, il est parti.
He was only with Radharani.
Il était simplement avec Radharani.
And even then he left Radharani.
Et après ça, il a même quitté Radharani.
And he left Vrindavan altogether and went to Mathura.
Il a quitté Vrindavan et il est allé à Mathura.
And he went to Dwarka, and he had so many pastimes in Dwarka.
Il est à Dvaraka, il a eu tellement de divertissements à Dvaraka.
And he was, then went to fight with so many demons.
Il s'est disputé avec tellement de démons.
Left the inhabitants of Dwarka at certain points.
Quitter les habitants de Dvaraka à un
But this
moment
is,
donné.
this is out of my, I'm actually out of my depth talking about this. Richard, you wanted to say something?
You know, he walked as Lord Chaitanya, barefooted, practically speaking, all over India. It's just minimum. I mean, who of us could do that? If you think about that.
Mm.
By foot, you know, with one servant, hardly 2 pieces of cloth to cover himself, sleeping on the floor, in the forest, or whatever. I mean, it's just inconceivable. I couldn't do that for a day. You know, if you think, and this is God, the Lord of the creation of everything. I mean, how can you be more renounced? You know, I mean, who of our wealthy men in this country walk through France, they pay this apostolorum on the feet of the apostles, and sleep in the forest? Who can do that? Nobody can do that. Even Louis XIV, they couldn't do that.
Il y avait le Seigneur Chaitanya. Quand il voyageait à travers l'Inde, il était pieds nus, il dormait par terre, il avait un serviteur. Il avait juste deux morceaux de vêtements à mettre sur son corps. Et pourtant, c'est Krishna lui-même, le Seigneur de l'univers entier. Quel roi même pourrait faire ça? Louis XIV, il n'aurait pas pu faire ça pour une journée.
Yes, that was Lord Chaitanya. You can't exactly say it's Krishna Lila, but it makes the point. Doesn't it?
C'est un bon point.
But you could say, well, Krishna left his mother when he was a tiny newborn baby. He left his mother.
Krishna, quand il était un tout petit bébé, il a quitté sa mère.
You could say, well, he was a baby. He didn't know, but he did know. He was
On peut
Krishna.
dire, c'est un bébé, il savait pas, mais il savait.
That's very renounced to be your mother when you're just half an hour old.
C'est très renoncer de renoncer. C'est de la renonciation de renoncer à ses parents quand on a 30 minutes d'existence.
Lord Chaitanya left his wife to Sanya
Yeah.
at a young age.
Chaitanya a renoncé à sa femme, il a pris sannyas très jeune.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains real renunciation is not necessarily to give things up, but not to be attached or identify with it. Lord Krishna himself gave all recognition to Arjuna, for instance, on the Bhagavad Gita, although Krishna was doing everything in one sense. He wanted to give the glory to his devotees, Hanuman, Arjuna, and others, for the activity which, in one sense, was all orchestrated by him. So he's not at all attached to being praised in that sense, or, you know what I mean? Kind of renunciation on a different level, not just living austerely or walking away from something, but not being dependent on it.
Dans la Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explique que la renonciation, ce n'est pas forcément abandonner des choses, mais c'est abandonner la mentalité de vouloir en profiter. Et par exemple, il donnait souvent le crédit à ses dévots après avoir effectué des activités. En fait, c'est un autre niveau de renonciation, c'est renoncer, toujours accepter les choses, mais pas en dépendre.
Let Maharaj have the last word. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Oh, you had a question? Oh, sorry. You can ask?
I mean, it's a long question probably, that's okay, later.
You can ask it, or you can ask it and I can think about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You had a question, Mataji?
Yeah. So somebody might say, okay, Krishna is God of love, and so much killing going on. So somebody might say, yeah, it's very strange.
On peut dire que Krishna c'est un dieu d'amour, pourtant il tue tellement de démons. Comment comprendre cette contradiction?
Well, because it depends on the philosophical level.
Ça dépend du
If
niveau
a person
philosophique.
can understand the reason,
Si une personne peut comprendre la raison,
but because Krishna is absolute,
car Krishna est absolu,
he's absolute good.
il est le bien absolu.
So whatever he does is good for you. If he cuts your head off, it's good for you.
Quoi qu'il fasse, c'est bon pour nous. Même s'il coupe notre tête, c'est super.
When all the personalities in the battle of Kurukshetra, there was hundreds of millions of people were killed, and Battle of Kurukshetra.
Dans la bataille de Kurukshetra, il y a des centaines de millions de personnes qui sont mortes.
Krishna wanted them killed.
Krishna voulait qu'ils soient morts.
But they were all liberated because they were killed in Krishna's presence.
Mais ils ont tous été libérés car ils ont été
So
tués.
they were
en
greatly
présence de
benefited.
Krishna. Donc ils ont été bénéficiés.
They were in the cycle of birth and death, and then they became liberated.
Ils étaient dans le cycle des morts et des renaissances et puis ils en sont sortis.
So if we could be killed by Krishna, we would be very fortunate.
Si on peut être tué par Krishna, on est très fortuné.
One could aspire for it.
On peut avoir ce désir.
That's it. So it appears to be a contradiction, but from a higher point of view, it's not a contradiction.
Ça apparaît comme une contradiction, mais ce n'est pas une.
Many things are like that. It appears to be a contradiction, but from another point of view, it's not.
Beaucoup de choses sont comme ça, elles apparaissent comme des contradictions, mais d'un autre point de vue, elles ne le sont pas.
Oh, still people have their hands up. I don't know what to say. Maybe I should take the lady. Oh, we just had a lady. No, we just very busy. Can
So does that mean that we can only be liberated if we die?
No, the liberation means getting out. The basic meaning of liberation, it means different things.
La libération veut dire différentes choses.
The basic meaning of liberation is to get out of the cycle of birth and death.
La signification de la libération est de sortir du cycle des morts et des renaissances.
When Krishna killed people, they actually went to the spiritual world.
Et quand Krishna a tué les gens, ils allaient au monde spirituel.
So you can be beyond the cycle of birth and death, but still, in the realm of material energy. No, I don't think so. It's right. I'm just thinking, was that right or not? Anyway, so you don't have to die because it's a matter of consciousness. That's the point. If your consciousness is high, you don't have to come back and take another body because your consciousness is already higher.
Where do you go?
The way you go depends on again where your consciousness is. If you're thinking of the Brahmajyoti, you can go to the Brahmajyoti. If you're thinking of Krishna in the spiritual world, you can go to perhaps to Vaikuntha. Or if you're thinking of Krishna's supreme Govinda, you can go to Vrindavan. Those are the basic options. So you don't have to die. You can be liberated right now by remembering Krishna. It's a matter of, we think, we often think about spiritual goals as being actual physical locations, but actually they're more like, better to think of it as a state of mind, a state of consciousness, like the spiritual world. We can actually be in the spiritual world if we had the spiritual consciousness. And we could, and they say that you could actually be in the temple, but because you've got a material consciousness, you're still in the material world. And similarly, you can be what we'd say out in the material world, but because you have a spiritual consciousness, you're in the spiritual world. So it's not to do with geographical location, it's to do with consciousness. Consciousness is everything because it's the essence of our being. The body is an external vehicle.
Donc, Mataji se demandait s'il y avait besoin de mourir pour être libéré. Et Bhagavati Mataji a répondu que c'est pas une question de géolocalisation pour être libéré, ça se passe au niveau de la conscience. Donc, on peut être ici dans le monde matériel et être dans le monde spirituel. Et voilà.
So do you want to ask a question quickly if it's still relevant?
Yeah, you were saying that when Krishna cut your head off, it's good for you because Krishna is all good, he's absolute. So I was thinking if there is any distinction that we can say that this was Krishna's hand or it was our karma, because in the life of pure devotee, we can know that everything what happened to them is under direction or under supervision of Krishna. But for people who are not Krishna conscious, everything, is under their karmic reactions. the reaction for their activities. And what about us, for aspiring devotees who are not pure, how we can know if it's our karma or desire or if it's Krishna's hand? Is there some distinction?
What if you get your head cut off? Or
No,
just generally?
Yeah, most of the
Generally. But once you start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna's personally taking care of you. Once you take to the path of Krishna consciousness, you're not under the ordinary Vishnu automatic, material energy. You're under Krishna personally. So you can understand that whatever happens, as Krishna has sanctioned it, it's happening for a reason. Prabhupada described it that we get a token karma. We get a token of our karma. It's like we get a little percentage. We're supposed to have our head cut off, or maybe we just have the top of our finger cut off.
To learn the lessons.
Yeah, so we still get our karma, but we get it in such a way that we can progress in Krishna consciousness. We can understand it. This is my karma, but Krishna's giving it to me, because he could stop it, or he could give us more. It's under his control. We're not under the ordinary modes of nature. So things happen to you, but if you see them as coming from Krishna, this is our free will, actually. This is where the free will is. We can see what is happening to us as Krishna, or we can see it as just Maya, or some bad luck, or some heavy karma, or just this person did this and this person did that, and it's all because of Emmanuel Macron, this is happening, and and blame other people. But if we say, no, Krishna's doing this to me to teach me a lesson, you see Krishna in it, then you're liberated. That's liberation. To see Krishna, what's happening to you is because Krishna's giving you this situation, whether it's through the material energy or what, you're through your karma or through your spiritual destiny. It's coming because it's bringing you closer to Krishna. So suffering is wonderful. And when you suffer as a devotee, it's hard to think this when you're actually really suffering. But suffering is because it purifies you. It brings you closer to Krishna. Every time you're suffering, you're purified. It's progressive, and then you become closer to Krishna. So thank you for the suffering. The person is giving you a hard, thank you very much. You're giving me a hard time, but I'm realizing how I need to take shelter of Krishna's material world. This is punishment, day after day. So much. I've been struggling so much in my life, but I see it as Krishna. And if you see it as Krishna, there's such a sense of relief. If you see it as what other people did this and other people did that, you become all just like twisted up in your mind, blaming people and feeling better. But if we exercise our free will and see this is Krishna purifying me, I actually should be getting worse. I'm getting some punishment. Should be worse. I should be getting, for what I have done, I rebelled against Krishna. I should be getting worse. Tattena kampam. Prabhupada said that this verse, Tattena kampam susamiksamana. But as in the spoken Bhagavad Brahma in the 10th canto, I think 8th chapter, verse 14. Or it's 14th chapter 8, no. 8th chapter, verse 14. It says that if you accept your karma, if you accept what's happening to you, you just tolerate. He said, then you become liberated. Because you're no longer, buying back into the karma. You're no longer, engaging with the material energy. So something happens in the material energy, and then we engage with it. Look at this, and look at that, look at this, and this is this, and this is that, and the whole mentality gets absorbed in material energy. It's like somebody throws a ball and you catch it. So, and you get really absorbed in it. So the material energy, something's happening. Say, oh, it's Krishna. Krishna's teaching me, okay, what do I have to learn? How can I understand this from the Krishna point of view? Krishna's teaching me compassion. And then you're not engaging back, you're not throwing yourself back into the material energy. You're taking that thing, but you're using it to see Krishna. That's how I do it. I think something really heavy happens, whoa, and it knocks you back for a while. You feel like for a little while, you feel like overwhelmed, lamenting or something, and then, no, actually, Krishna's there. This is just another wave of the material energy. Prabhupada said the material energy is like an ocean. There's wave after wave after wave. So when something happens, you get really bad health, or somebody's nasty to you, or you're, I won't say what's happened here, but another wave, right? The wave comes over. He says, well, what do? If you're in the ocean, do you try and fix the wave? You try and stop the waves? No. You get out of the ocean. So every time the wave comes, think, oh yeah, get out of the ocean. Chant Hare Krishna. Remember Krishna. Read Krishna book. It's very practical. It's actually practical. It can actually be done by Kali Yuga souls. We've got plenty of opportunity because we're suffering so much. We've got plenty of opportunity to practice this. So when the wave comes, turn to Krishna. And you get this habit, you can actually retrain your mind. Instead of going into hankering and lamenting, you go into remembering Krishna. It makes Krishna consciousness, like it's so practical, good application, Krishna consciousness. That help. I'm not sure it's exactly the answer to the question, but it's my realization is that we can dealing with what happens to us. In one sense, it doesn't even really matter where it's coming from, whether it's coming from karma or from Krishna. We're going to deal with it. If you're falling in the well, you worry about how you got in the well, or you have to worry about how to get out. Anyway, Prabhu has insights on how to see this. But a young devotee, he has to know, take shelter of Krishna, just take shelter of Krishna.
So once we take shelter of Krishna, then Krishna is in charge, right?
Well, he's in charge of us anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
We forget him. We already forgot him for billions and billions of lifetimes. We forgot him. He didn't forget us, right? But now we're just starting to remember him. And he's coming, yes, come. And if we start to forget him, we might get a smack. Krishna will get a stick. Oh, Maya. Okay, now this heavy things. They say that when a devotee goes away from Krishna consciousness, they get a very heavy experience. Somebody may practice for a while and they go away, they try to get back into Maya. And then they really suffer because they've forgotten. They're trying to go from the wrong direction, and then they will get a really heavy push until the end. Okay, I have to go back, Krishna. This is too much. And that can happen in a more subtle way as well. Not that we totally go away, but we might just go on some little detour in our mind, and then something will happen. Oh, okay, yeah, got it. I won't think about that anymore. Don't stop. Practical. Sorry, it's podcast now. Somebody will eat more breakfast. It's not left anywhere for us. Hare Krishna. Volunteers have eaten everything. But it's Krishna's relationship.
I just do the translation for the. Donc,
You should have told me. I
non,
forgot.
c'est pas Nick. Prabhu a posé la question à Bhagavati Mataji si on sait que les purs dévots ils sont pris en charge directement par Krishna à travers leur vie et sont toujours en relation avec Krishna, et la question c'était nous, comment savoir si ce qui nous arrive c'est notre karma ou si c'est Krishna qui nous l'envoie. Et la réponse de Bhagavati Mataji c'était qu'à partir du moment où on commence à chanter avec Krishna, Krishna il s'occupe personnellement de notre chemin spirituel et Krishna il garde un petit peu de notre karma, et ce qui nous arrive, on n'est pas totalement libéré de notre karma, mais Krishna il pourrait nous prendre totalement notre karma ou nous rajouter plein de karma, ça c'est son pouvoir, c'est son contrôle, mais il nous corrige en fait, il nous garde juste un peu de karma, il nous fait payer un petit peu de karma alors qu'il pourrait nous en faire payer beaucoup plus. Donc Bhagavati Mataji disait qu'il faut se dire justement, ah merci Krishna de me donner juste ça, j'ai juste une petite coupure alors tu devrais me couper le bras pour m'être rebellé contre toi. Et c'est une très bonne, Bhagavati Mataji disait que c'est une très bonne, justement c'est un très bon moyen de prendre refuge en Krishna toutes ces petites choses. Donc voilà.
Amazing that you remember what I said.
Ça marche.
Mhm.